say good morning to all our viewers this morning as we take you through the paper review. My name remains Ige or Lalekon, and you are watching BGI TV Current. This morning, 30th of May 2023. Let's go straight into the dailies and see what we have for the day. Going through the Tribune newspaper this morning, we have court sentenced Ramon Adedoyin to death by hanging over murder of OAU student. And from the Punch newspaper, subsidy fuel sells 600 per litre as queue worsens, filling station shuts. From the Nation newspaper, Tinubu Shettima resumes office, and that is according to the Nation newspaper. We are going through the Daily Post for this morning. We have Tinubu's inaugural speech. Arewa Youth Ohaneze Afenifere takes stand. While in another page from the Punch newspaper, we have this for you. Nweke no longer in PDP, says NEC member. Now let's go straight into the dailies for the day in full. Now, it was a situation of celebration yesterday at the Oshogbo High Court when a popular hotelier, Dr. Ramon Adedoyin, was found guilty and sentenced to death by hanging over murder of Timothy Adegoke, a former student of the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, who died between November 5th and 7th, 2021 at Hilton Honors Hotel, Ile-Ife. Sentenced for same offences alongside Adedoyin are two of his staff, Adeniyi Aderogba and Kazeem Oyetunde. While delivering a judgment, the Chief Judge of Osun and Presiding Judge of the State High Court, Adepele, held that the circumstantial evidence available to the court pointed to the killing of Adegoke while being a guest at the hotel owned by Adedoyin. Justice Adepele, however, discharged and acquitted 3 of the staff, while the 7th defendant is to hear a sentence on Wednesday following pleas by both the prosecution and defendant's counsel. And that is according to the Punch news. That's according to the paper we have for you. That is according to the Tribune newspaper. Now let's go through the Punch newspaper for this morning. We have this. Fuel subsidy. Fuel sells 600 per litres as queue worsen. Filling stations shuts. Less than 24 hours after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu declared an end to the fuel subsidy, the pump price of premium motor spirit, commonly known as petrol, has skyrocketed to 600 per litres from 195 per litres in many parts of the country. The development equally triggered a 100% hike in transport fare, while long queues resurfaced at fuel stations across Lagos, Abuja, Ilorin, Benin, Asaba, Port Harcourt, Kano, Makurdi, and other major cities and urban areas. To worsen the situation, many outlets shut down their facilities and refused to dispense fuel to motorists, further creating scarcity and sparking desperation and panic buying at a fuel station that were opened to customers. Tinubu had, in his inaugural address at the Eagle Square on Monday, pronounced with finality an end to the subsidy, noting that the 2023 Appropriation Act did not provide for petroleum subsidy beyond June, the end of the 18-month extension period approved by the Muhammadu Buhari administration for the discontinuance of the subsidy regime. That is according to Punch newspaper. Subsidy. Fuel sells for 600 per litre as filling station shut. Now let's go through the Nation newspaper and see what we have for this morning. Tinubu Shettima resumes office. That's according to the Nation newspaper. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday walked into the warm embrace of top government officials and some of his aides on his first day at the State House in Abuja as president. Those who received him at the forecourt of his office within the presidential villa at about 2:38 p.m. were led by the Vice President Kashim Shettima. Also at the forecourt were House of Representatives Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila, the Permanent Secretary of the State House Tijani Umar, Central Bank of Nigerian Governor Godwin Emefiele, the Group Chief Executive Officer Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited Mele Kyari, former Lagos State Commissioner for Finance Mr. Wale Edun, Mr. Dele Alake, and House of Representative member Ikeja Federal Constituency, that is James Falike. And according to the Nation newspaper, Tinubu Shettima resumes office. Now let's go through another news daily that we have for today. According to Daily Post, we have this: Tinubu's inaugural speech. Arewa youths Ohaneze Afenifere take stand. Ahmed Bola Tinubu on Monday took his oath of office as the 16th president of Nigeria. During his inaugural speech at the Eagle Square, Abuja, Tinubu, among other things, vowed to end the regime of fuel subsidy in Nigeria because the country can't afford to expend such huge funds at the detriment of other infrastructures. He vowed to channel the funds meant for fuel subsidy to infrastructural healthcare, education, and others. According to Tinubu, we commend the decision of the outgoing administration in phasing out the petroleum subsidy regime, which has increasingly favored the rich more than the poor. Subsidy can no longer justify its ever-increasing cost in the wake of drying resources. We shall instead rechannel the fund into better investment in public infrastructures, education, healthcare, and jobs that will materially improve the lives of millions. The newly sworn-in president also vowed to boost the country's security architect, ensure a unified exchange rate, and create meaningful job opportunity for Nigerians. Commenting on the speech, the national president of Arewa Youth Consultative Forum, Yerima Shettima, said Tinubu is determined to work. Shettima said Tinubu would perform miracle that Nigerians don't expect, and that is what we have been expecting, just like we have it in the Daily Post. Now, if you look at this speech, the inaugural speech of the new elected president, you come to realize that these are exactly what Nigerians have been craving for. And if we can have a leader that has a focus and purpose to achieve this, I think to some extent it's going to go a long way to resuscitate the economy, and at the same time to boost Nigerian reputation and the confidence of the masses in their leader. And again, when you look at it, you come to realize that the issue of the subsidy has been lingering for a long time. We've been hearing this all over and all over again. Subsequent governments have been telling us that okay, they need to take away the subsidy from uh, the fuel cost so that they can bring up a palliative measures. But taking away the subsidy had not really shown forth that Nigerians have been affected with the various policies that have been implemented by the past government. So if we really look at it, with all what the new incoming government, the president is saying, if possibly he could, translate all those speech into action, I think is going to go a long way to rub off on all the sectors of the economy. If you look at it from the health sector, you will see that the state of our health sector is comatose, and we need somebody that will come in and revive that sector. The same thing is also applicable to the education sector. You see consistent and persistent going on strike by the ASU, the NASU, and some other sisters agencies and bodies. So we need a leader that is focused and that will really implement policies that will make impact in the life of Nigeria. And again, it is as a result of being sincere with those policies that will now help us to have a friendly, warm and welcome from our foreign allies. What do I mean by that? The diplomatic ties, it will really help the foreign countries, the Western world, and some other parts of the Middle East and all over the world to really believe in Nigeria, that yes, it has come to a time that we can now see that Nigeria really need help. And at the same time, if all this can be implemented, and as they are implementing this, they should also make sure that they put up a machinery that will work against those saboteurs that might want to involve in embezzlement of the funds, and that will lead to a situation whereby most of the projects will not be executed. Because it is very important that as you are implementing policies, you are bringing up various ideas to transform and to change the situation of things. You should also set up a machinery that will also monitor those projects so that they can get to completions. And I think if Bola Ahmed Tinubu could do this, Nigeria would be a better place for us all to live in. Let's go through the Punch newspaper and see what we have. According to the headline, Wike no longer in PDP, says NEC member. They said, a member of the People Democratic Party's National Executive Committee, Timothy Oshogbo, says the immediate past governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, is no longer a member of the party, given his conduct before, during, and after the 2023 general election. Oshogbo, who gave the hint in a telephone conversation with the Punch on Tuesday, noted that the leadership of the party had decided to isolate Wike, render him inconsequential in the affairs of the PDP. According to him, Wike's recent public outing, wherein he appeared to be leaning towards the All Progressive Congress, gave him away as a man in perpetual crawling for the spotlight at all times and regardless of the cost to his image as an opposition political leader. He said, the PDP has ignored Wike because the man is no longer himself. There are more ways to deal with people apart from sanctioning them. You can keep someone in isolation. He, Wike, can boast that he is the one that stayed away, but is it not better to stay away than come to party activities and nobody want to associate with you? He has been given a cold treatment because he went to court to procure a judgment that says he cannot be suspended, but there is no judgment that says he cannot be avoided. That is what the PDP has been doing to him. And technically, if Wike wants to say the truth, he will tell you that he is no longer a member of the People's Democratic party. When you come to look at this, just like a word that goes does that there is no permanent friend in politics and no permanent enemy. And I think I really concur with that statement. When you look at the situation of things, you will discover that the major political parties in Nigeria, we have been having people, there is this ideology we call jumpology. People have been moving from one party to another. Everybody's looking for greener pasture and trying to look for a place whereby his interest will be paramount, whereby he can express himself, and he will also want to be in a party where he think his contribution will also be observed. And that's exactly what I think happened to Wike. And even before the election, you discover that there has been a lot of tussles between the People's Presidential Party's candidate, that is in person of Atiku Abubakar, and Wike himself. And if you don't also forget, you discover that Tambuwa, who was a close ally to Wike, it was as a result of these tussles that led to the breakup of both of them. So, and apart from that, we also discover that every party gets to matured gradually, because even the major political party that we see today, they also metamorphosizes from a different party before they go to the state. And as those parties are metamorphosizing, the various politicians also, they are going in line with the trend of things. And that is why it will not surprise me, and at the same time I believe you viewers at home will also concur and understand with me that that is exactly the reason why you see people moving from one party cross-carpeting to another, because they are looking for where their interest will be of paramount. Now let's go through another Punch newspaper where we have the headline: subsidy, fuel sells 600 per litre, queues worsen as filling station short. When you look at the scenario of things, barely 24 hours after President Tinubu declared an end to fuel subsidy, the pump of premium motor spirits, which is commonly known as petrol, skyrocketed from 195 naira to 600 naira. And if possibly, what I think is that before the president announced this, they should have come up with a device to put up some measures that will not make this thing to have a negative effect, as in this action to have a negative effect on the masses. So although I think with what he said that he is going to do about it, that what he wanted to deploy, as in terms of trying to see how he can resuscitate the various ministry with the money that is expected to be taken away from the few, we think by doing this is going to go a long way at the end of the day to make a positive impact in the economy. But notwithstanding, just like he said that this has been implemented before the outgone president left the office, which was in June. And the question now is, the past administration, since they removed this fuel subsidy, then what happened? Why have they not been able to put up some things that would have been on a positive side of the masses, so that they won't feel the effect of this subsidy that is now removed? But we don't know. Well, we still need to get, as time goes on, we need to be, we need to just keep all and course and watch what is going to happen. Meanwhile, queue worsened in some parts of Lagos and Ogun State. It cut across the entire state. For instance, when you look at it, you discover that presently along the highway, the road is very easy now, and apart from that, the thief fare has skyrocketed. A lot of people are now finding it difficult to go from one destination to the other. And despite that fact, a lot of filling stations have been locked up, although we don't know why. But some of them will tell you that, okay, they can't afford to sell at so price, while some are ready to sell. But some feel that, okay, we need to get more facts from the president before we can go ahead. But the truth of the matter is, all those actions are taking effect on Nigerian masses. So we employ the new administration to make sure they try and see what they can do about that. Let's quickly look at what happened at Oshogbo in Osun State yesterday. You know, when you look at the situation of things, you come to agree with me that, you know, what really happened yesterday has really shows that Nigeria, justice is of paramount, that we should also believe in our judiciary system, because what has taken place yesterday has really confirmed, because before the judgment a lot of people have been expecting what the outcome will be, and at the same time a lot of people have been on the side that maybe based on the fact that some of the previous experience we had in Nigeria, whereby people don't comply or obey with the judiciary system, and you know, maybe it will be possible for people to manipulate things, and at the end of the day they go scot-free with whatever offenses they've committed. But if you look at what happened yesterday, it really shows that, okay, Nigeria is really coming back to its former glory. That justice system in Nigeria is really coming up, and we pray and we also hope that the new judiciary system that Nigeria is trying to come up with in terms of reformation now, we pray it will be of a good one that will be of benefit to the entire masses in this country, to the extent that those that goes against the law will not go scot-free. And apart from that, you know, there are some other things that I want to commend the Justice Adepele for. You know, he was able to really give an analysis of all the entire offenses committed by each of those defendants yesterday, and it was a kind of giving us a full details of why some will be discharged and acquitted and why some will have to be punished, of which, you know, this case has been lingering since 2021, and we thank God that at the end of the day, you know, justice prevailed based on all evidence, you know, before the Chief Justice Adepele. And I also want to encourage Nigerians, let's believe in our judiciary system, and you know, the more we do that, the more we get better for it. Now let's quickly look at the next one. You know, yesterday the newly elected president and the vice president resumed office, and you know, by the time they got to the villa, they were welcomed by the various staffs and their aides. You know, it was a glorious one yesterday when the president, in person of President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the vice president Shettima resumed office. You know, I just pray that now that they have resumed duty, what we Nigerians are expecting from them is to kickstart and make sure that they hit the grounds running. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should please make it as a point of duty to make sure he bring up technocrats, you know, by putting the right people, the right peg in the right hole. We need the technocrats, those that are specialized in each area, that will be able to manage the resources of Nigeria to an extent whereby, you know, the benefits and the dividends of democracy will be earned by Nigeria, should be put in place. And I think if he can do that, that means he's going to write his name in gold by doing that, because all Nigerians will be happy for it. And this is one of the ways through which we can easily rewrite our story. And at the same time, I also want to say that the government, you know, this administration should try as much as possible to explore the diversity we have. You know, just like he said yesterday that he's going to govern each region, that he has the technicalities and he has the tactics on how to govern each region. Now, he said something in his speech which I really appreciate much. And that's the fact that when he said that the northern part of the country should see the southern part as their brother, and the southern part also should also reciprocate the gesture, of which I think doing that alone, will bring about a unified mission, of which Nigerian together we can achieve the best. This is BGI TV Current, and if you are just watching us, my name remains Igi Olalikon. As we are going through the daily for the day, and at the same time we are also analyzing and giving details of what each of the dailies is all about. We've talked about the Punch newspaper, where we have the judgment at Oshogbo yesterday, where Ramon Adedoyin was sentenced to death by hanging over the murder of OAU students, and in person of Timothy Adegoke. We also look at another paper, that is, we look at the Tribune. We also look at the Tribune, where we have the airline I just read. And at the same time, we also look at the Punch newspaper, where we also have fuel subsidy, where fuel sells for 600 per litres. Queue now worsen at filling stations while they shut. And it is on this note that we'll be calling it a wrap for today on BGI. You have any comments or any response, please just put it down on the comment section. And I wish and I hope that Nigerian working together, putting our hand and crossing our finger. Let's see what the government will do. And at the same time, I want to enjoy all Nigerians. Let's pray for our leaders so that they can do the right thing. My name remains Igi Olalikon, and this is BGI TV Current. Thank you, and tomorrow is another day. Bye bye.